Jay Leno. He's a great guy.
Actually, you can go onto YouTube and see that interview that Jay Leno did just about 6 months ago.
Yeah, Jay is, he's got these huge buildings full of cars. And last time I saw him, I said, Jay, the last thing I did was I came to talk with you and be with you, but I never got to see your collection. He says, well, come on back. Well, in one of his buildings, there's what looks like a drugstore. It's a long counter with a lot of stools and a lot of food-making equipment, ice boxes and so forth. And there's all these people milling around. There's 25 or 30 people. They're all over. And Jay's walking around among them, smiling, and nothing going on particular. They don't pay a lot of attention to him. He's a celebrity, of course, but he's in this world of friends. And while we're driving the car, I said, how many people do you have work for you? He says, 5. Well, who are all those people back there? I don't know. You know who they are. They're just people who wander in and want to be near him. And he says, make yourself a sandwich. And that's the way it is. Have a beer. See, he's just as open and unbelievably direct and very intelligent man. I think he reads a lot. I think he just gobbles up books, the printed word. But he's very intelligent, very smart. At any rate, that's my Jay Leno story. I'm a Navy vet from World War II. And I jumped off an aircraft carrier that was on fire, the Bunker Hill. And I swam for many hours, pulling a pilot. I was picked up by a ship. I was a gunner in the 5-inch 38. That's the largest of the guns on a carrier in those days. 5-inch 38, and then there's a 40 millimeter, and then the 20 millimeter. And any rate, we were hit by the kamikazes. We went over the side, and I swam for a long time, and I wound up being picked up by a destroyer, the Sullivans. The Sullivans was named after a whole family of 5 boys who were all lost at once. You remember the movie they made about it. Well, they relaunched another ship called the Sullivans, and that's the one that got me out of the water. And I rode around for a day or two, and then they put me back on board as a skeleton crew. The ship didn't sink. It was on one of its 4 engines. It had burned half of itself from the midships aft, and the place was full of hundreds of dead people. And on the trip home was very slow and agonizing. And I was one of those guys that crawled up and down in ventilators. Oh, there's one up here. All right, pull him down by his feet. Well, I grabbed his feet, and they'd pull me down. All I had was his feet. The rest of them stayed in the... Oh, well. A lot of stories, bad stories. But that's the reason for going to Buffalo. They've got something they're going to do there. I don't know what. The ship, yes, of course the ship is there. The Sullivans is one of the very ships in the Naval Museum. I climbed up a, not a rope ladder, it's a cargo net. And I'm curious to know if they're going to have a cargo net hanging down for me to crawl up again. If they throw me in the water, I'd probably drown, Anyway, that's why we're going to Buffalo.
He's 89 years old. I don't think he's climbing up that cargo net.
I could do it. Come on.